Hello again, it's Jason Ravnsborg, your Attorney General, for 5 on Fridays. And Tim informs me this is actually our 10th video, so hopefully you're enjoying this series and we'll begin to put out some more in the coming weeks. It's been a busy week here this last week. I've been to Washington, D.C. for a consumer protection conference where I was on a panel with 5 other Attorney Generals from around the country, sharing and collaborating on different ideas to keep you safe in that area. The Senate on Thursday voted in favor of legislation that would levy hefty fines for illegal robocalls, advancing one of the most prominent congressional efforts to crack down on the scourge of the billions of unwanted calls that aggravate U.S. consumers every year. The Telephone Robocall Abuse Criminal Enforcement and Deterrence Act, more commonly called the TRACE Act, passed the United States Senate yesterday 97-1 and it received 80 co-sponsors by the time it reached the Senate floor. The bill was introduced by our senator, Senator John Thune and Ed Markey of Massachusetts, and would give the federal government the authority to slap offenders with fines of up to $10,000 per call. The legislation would also give regulators more time to find scammers, increase penalties for those that are caught, promote call authentication and blocking, and help coordinate enforcement to increase criminal prosecution of illegal robocalls. This is legislation that is supported by myself and all of the 50 attorney generals around the country. Tim informs me that this was actually the topic on Tuesday for what's new at the Attorney General's office, and so I'm glad to see that this legislation is moving forward. It'll now go to the United States House and then on to the President for signature. But I do believe this is a positive step for our state and our country to combat illegal robocalls. It's my understanding that over half the calls that come into cell phones now are from robocalls as well. And so we all get these annoying calls, and so be vigilant. If you have any question, if you answer one of them and they want to sell you something or you're tempted, just double check and check with our office to make sure that what you're buying or what you're potentially donating to charity is a legitimate charity. Call our office and make sure. As I mentioned earlier, I went to a conference this week in Washington, D.C. all about consumer protection. A gentleman from our office, Phil Carlson, attended as well. He's on one of our earlier What's New in the Offices. You might want to go back and revisit that. But also, what we want to do is just inform you of all the things that were happening at the conference. We talked about such issues as privacy, robocalls, cryptocurrency, increasing our knowledge in these very specific areas to try and keep you safe. Again, if you have any concerns, feel free to reach out to our office. Well, I thought I'd conclude this week by thanking you for joining in for 5 on Fridays. Hopefully you've enjoyed this topic. Congress is making progress on a very important area, but we're also seeking to keep you safe from consumer protection areas. But we're also, with Memorial Day starting, it's the start of summer traditionally, even though you wouldn't know it by being in the hills this week and it's snowing yet again. It's hard to believe. My grandfather always told me that it snowed on Memorial Day, and I guess I never thought I'd see that day myself. Hopefully we don't. But if you're out there traveling, be safe on the roadways, be courteous to the people around you. But also if you're out boating, jet skiing, be courteous and aware of the people around you. We want to keep everybody safe. Now, I'll be speaking in Chamberlain on Monday. Feel free to come out and see me if you have questions. I'll be glad to talk with you if I can and answer your questions. But otherwise, we hope to see you next Friday for 5 on Fridays. I'm Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg, trying to keep South Dakota safe.